This is my latest project for my telescope. This is a stepper motor drive. A stepper motor is a motor that you can tell to spin at very precise speeds. The problem that I had with my old motor is that it's just an ordinary DC motor and it's dependent on the voltage from the battery. This is my battery here, and it doesn't output a constant voltage. So, a stepper motor, however, can't just be plugged straight into a battery like a DC motor can. You need to have a controller for it, which I've built here. So let me show you what this controller does. Now, I've implemented this and programmed it myself, so it actually says hello to me when I turn it on. So I can then turn it on with this button, and you probably can't see that, but it is spinning around there very slowly at about 1.5 RPM. I'll just stop that. So with the speed of this, I need to be able to tune it, and so that's what this thing here, this says how many milliseconds between each tick that goes to the stepper motor is, so 12.26, and I can adjust that using this rotary encoder. I can also fine tune it, so if I click the fine button, now it's tuning it in microsecond increments, so I can do very fine tuned adjustments. So that's now going to tick in every 12.572 milliseconds. I've also got a dimmer, so that controls the brightness of both the display and the on-off button. Important that things aren't too bright when you're out looking through a telescope. I've also got an idle minutes, which is how many minutes before it'll go idle, which I'll show you in a bit. And I can also tune the direction. And back to the normal speed control. So I'm now going to wait a minute, and I'll cut the video here and come back when it goes idle. And there we can see it's now gone idle, and it says enjoy clear skies, James. I'm a software developer, so over engineering this to have a kind of idle mode like that is exactly the sort of thing that I would do. Now I'm going to show what actually is inside this box. So I'll turn it off, and I've got the box unscrewed. So I haven't done this as a soldering project because I may want to swap out components as I'm testing it and getting it working. In particular, the stepper motor driver, I think I want a different one. So, but you can see there, this blue thing over here is an Arduino. That's the microcontroller, and that's what I've programmed. And then it's wired to a lot of different things. We've got the stepper motor driver here, so that actually controls the stepper motor. And then I've got the LED display driver up there, and rotary encoder, and so on. In order to mount this in this plastic box, which just came as an ordinary plastic box that I cut holes in, I actually 3D printed this bezel, which is actually a snap-in bezel. So if I can snap it out, so that I 3D printed to hold the LED thing. You might be able to see the snap locks just there. This is my first ever 3D printing project. I don't have a 3D printer myself, but I did send it off to a local commercial 3D printer to print it for me, and it turned out beautifully. So I can snap that in, and it holds my LED display really nicely. So now I just need to build a gearbox to plug this into and to adjust the gears, and I'll be ready to use this on my telescope and hopefully be able to take much clearer pictures than I have been able to.